Here we are again. Here we are again. Yes, some of you may recognize this car, some of you may not. That's because I don't think I've ever shown it before anyway, so.
That was the exhaust video, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we did the exhaust video. He's right. He's right. We did that, but he wasn't here for the whole thing, so kind of had to do some improv there. Well, I mean, this is the car. It used to make like 850 wheel horsepower. Now we're shooting for like 1100-ish. It's using another stage 4 IG block, stage 3 heads, but with S2 cams, and that's because the customer drives down the street. In this iteration, we redid all the titanium. We made this intercooler. This way, no one has to pull the bumper off to do anything behind here. All the connections are under here and under that fender liner, so you just have to drop this down on each side to service that, so no more headaches there. But it's not like it'd be a headache for the customer because we're the ones that work on it anyways. We have these cool clamps. They're a collaboration between us and Varus. I'm about to work on the dry sump, which means I have to take apart everything. Which is, you know, kind of nice. That's the benefit of having a shop do everything, because sometimes those shops are willing to just undo everything for the greater good. Like this intercooler pipe that I already redid to clear the dry sump tank now. It used to come up here, like so. Used to go up here, used to be nice and short, but now since the tank has to sit here, I had to cut this all off and put this down here, and this intercooler pipe comes up here now. But that is all done, and again, you know, customer doesn't have to pay anything for it because we're just so nice. But yeah, here we go, let's dive in. It used to be a battery tray. Actually, I have, you know, some remnants of it. Got some remnants of a battery tray. It's all cut out. I think I saved it for the customer because, you know, gotta give them back their old parts. I'm just gonna finish cutting out the rest of it. I'm gonna cut out this section here. I'm gonna grind this down, grind this down, grind all this down, grind this back down here so that it's all smooth and no one's just, it's not gonna be like, what is that, saw 2, saw 3, where you put your orange in it. Yeah, it's not like that. Okay, now that most of that's out of the way, I gotta figure out where these harnesses are gonna go, because obviously there's no place for them to clip in anymore. I might unclip them all from this to hug them tighter, because in this, when it's pushed in here, it just makes it stay down here, and then like it's kind of far away. Same thing with this one, because this one goes in this big channel. If it was just out of this, it would be, I think, much nicer. But I think I'm gonna take this off and then take this harness out, and then just put like the cushion clamps there to keep them in place, so I can tuck the harness out of the way too. So like if one's here and one's here, like one's here and one's here, then I'm good. So like literally above and below the holes. Yeah. Which should be like the exact width of this. That change. And this is, bro, don't at me. Don't at me, bro. I know my measurements. So right now I'm measuring these brackets that came with the dry sump tank. That is not in for this car, but again, when you work with shops that just have a plethora of stuff, whether it's for the personal cars or you know, just in stock, we can make the thing that you're waiting on before it even comes, so that you're not just waiting indefinitely. So yeah, I'm measuring this so I can cut this portion of the plate out, so I can weld it to these brackets, so that you just bolt this on and bolt the tank in. Obviously, trying to uninstall it, it's gonna be really hard. Just make sure you really drain the oil first. So we're just gonna do like a little radius here, and a little radius here. Radius, radius. Okay, and then this will come together, and this will come together, okay? Something like that. Kind of like a, you know, whatever that looks like. But yes, here we go. Let's do it, okay, family? This out. Yeah, 1/8 is about it. Okay, man. Right smack dab in the middle. Yeah, I know you like that, John. You know how I like maybe say Peterson up top, you know? I thought about it. Expert thinks about that. Update, it doesn't fit. Yeah. It has to slot down. Okay. Take 2. Okay, we might need to take 3. What a kind shop to use their own dry sump tank so that the customer doesn't have to wait. What a very kind shop. What is this? Was this nicer? Wow. So beautiful. Oh my god. Wow. Do you see that, Arlen? Do you see that? It's not even tight. It looks very beautiful. Wow. Oh wow, that really holds it. Do you see the whole thing move? Holy sh! These clamps are the truth. Good thing we used them on the other car. What? Hello again. Here we are. Day 2, dry sump install. Let's assess. So today we're going to be taking off the exhaust manifold, the oil pan, the oil pump, the timing cover, the water pump. We're going to be cutting the timing cover, taking off the crank pulley, putting it back on, taking off the water pump again, putting it back on, putting a pulley on the water pump that's not supposed to be there, which is why we're cutting the timing cover. And then once we're done putting it all back together, we're gonna get this pump over here. Riyadh Cooks Metal Motorsports. Just kidding, this is Roger Clark Motorsports, you know what I'm saying? Probably the easiest to use dry sump system for a Subaru because, you know, boop boop, done. Do you hear this? Hear the sound of oil pumps? Hear that? That's the power of scavenging. So we have the main dry sump pump. This is, I think this is 4-stage. Yeah, it's a 4-stage pump. This is gonna go from the bottom port on the tank over here. So this big bottom port right here is going to go straight here. I think this is dash 16, this is dash 12. So I'll probably reduce it over here to be a normal sized line. This side is gonna be like this, right? This side's gonna go straight to the oil pump delete plate, but it's also gonna be what shoves oil into the crankcase, like right into the crankshaft, and lubricates everything from the center outwards. And then this is gonna be returned to the tank that I'm gonna try to sneak behind the engine and then come around the back and then go to the top of the tank up there. But let's begin. Luckily, I already took this AF sensor out of the way like a boss. Who the boss, player? Who the dirty South boss? You know, I need to play that. Where's Spotify at? All you awesome people out there that think the power steering leaks are no big deal. This is after about a month of not the car running, but just the fluid just barely chilling on top of it. But this was brand new. Now it is not. So take care of your power steering leaks, okay? Otherwise, you're going to end up with power steering time belt. You know what I'm saying? Look, you see, it's starting to seep in there. Just barely seep in there. So, like, you want to finish this up for me, or you want to just finish this up real quick? You want to push this way? We're gonna be replacing this baffle with the RCM supplied baffle. There you go. This baffle that you have amazing lighting on now with the RCM baffle, because it's just meant for the dry sump tank, because of that. It clears everything. And so that's why I'm taking this off. You're like, wait, but there's no bolts. And you'd be correct, because it bolts to the actual pump, like that whole housing. And so it just sticks up in there when you bolt it together, which is cool, right? That way there's no bolts anywhere to, float around and get dislodged. Everything's outside of the engine, besides the one that secures. So what we're doing now is we're applying the O-ring into the recessed surface. When I'm running my finger over here like this, that is actually making sure of absolutely nothing, but it looks good on camera. The instructions don't tell you where to put it, so I'm just going to put it where I feel like putting it. Yeah, that's right, dog. See this little slug? Okay, this is actually really hard to focus. This is I already put the RGB on it too. Which hole is this? Yes. All right, so not that long after, and We have the pump installed onto the engine. Yeah, I found some things in between, but relatively smooth throughout, as expected. Now we're going to be plumbing the lines, installing the plate that deletes the factory oil pump, because obviously we have this big oil pump. And then we'll be making the exhaust manifold, but stay tuned.